Sony has been relatively successful with the XB or extra bass line, so it's no surprise that they would add an on-ear headphone. So this is the newest addition, the Sony MDR XB650BT. So starting out with the looks, the headphones are almost an identical shrunken down version of the 950s, but the air cushions are thicker with the fit on the ear, as this is an on-the-ear headphone. Now Sony did introduce 3 colors at launch: black, blue, and red. The headphones are equipped with volume and track controls, which are very impressionable and have good movement, and are well placed for your thumb to just reach back there and, kind of do its thing. Also on the air cup is a micro USB port, microphone, and power button, along with an LED indicator. The headphones are moderately comfortable. The headphones do fit well, not as snug as the Solo 2 wireless by Beats, but should do fine for light jogging and, light stationary work, things like that. But I'll be honest, I could wear these for probably about 2.5 hours without really being bothered by comfort, but that's about it. The headphones do swivel and tilt slightly, but they do not collapse. The air cups are not that good at isolating sound either. I can hear my mouse click over the music, so just keep that in mind. Now you will notice that there's one small but major component missing. That's an aux port. Now the unit is entirely wireless. Think about that before purchasing. I do like the design, but I do feel like it did take a step back in comfort when you're comparing them to the XB950s, where the air cushions are concerned. The unit itself is light and, in my opinion, very attractive. So let's talk about the overall listening experience. To summarize it, it's a more balanced profile. Now there are 30mm drivers in the unit, and what that means is a more potent bass and crisper mids. To give a real example, I listened to Future's Dirty Sprite 2, and the intro, I was able to hear so much more details than I could with the 950BT, and that's because the bass on the 950BT is really overwhelming sometimes. That's an already bass enhanced track, so you're not able to make out those little subtle details, and I was literally shocked when I put these on and was able to still get that bass and still make out the details. So that's awesome. But the unit does still carry that familiar favoritism to bass and lower tones, as these are bass enhancing headphones. So let me explain what's going on with the sound. The mids and the highs are more present, and the bass comes in where it needs to rather than always oversaturating the tones with bass. Now let me explain the situation where that's really good. Say you're listening to a movie that has a lot of speaking roles and dialogue, and also a lot of action. Think about Quentin Tarantino or James Bond movies. And some of the good things are that they have good separations of mids and lows. Highs are not as good, and they're probably the most recessed tone. So what about extra bass? Well, it's always on, and it kicks in where it needs to. Unlike his older brother that's always bass super present. That bass, the beast mode is activated and it just goes ham. For this unit though, the music, overall I do like it a little bit more. It's more proportionate, and it's better having that sometimes than just the overwhelming presence of bass. Hey, what's up everybody? So right now we're going to do the sound leak test. So I got a song queued up from Pee Wee Longway, Beat the Pack Out. And, we're just going to basically go ahead and, show you how loud it gets. Now I'm going to basically turn the volume up all the way. Okay, so it's up all the way on here. It's on YouTube, so I'm going to just cut the volume up just a little bit, about 20%. We're gonna see if you guys can hear anything. Let's get it. That's 20%. 50%. Let's go all the way up to 75. 75. 100. 100. That's loud. So let's wrap up about the sound. The thing is that bass, it conveys feeling and emotion. And the thing is that sometimes when it's overwhelming, you're missing a lot of the details in the mids and highs. You're literally missing sound because of that. So I'm happy that Sony did put a little bit of emphasis in mids and highs more to be more present than just the overall bass in these. And finally, let's talk about the functionality. And there is a lot of technology in the unit. Now, improvements include voice prompts for the battery levels, connections, and power status. Sony was was kind of late to the party to add these features, but I'm glad that they finally got them in there. Now that's really the least of my worries though. The biggest pet peeve that I had was due to the design. I wasn't able to conveniently actually check the battery level. Now all I have to do is tap the power button and the voice prompt tells me the power level status, which I might add sounds very nice. Now the control on the 650 track management are really nice. They have enough push and play, but are still controlled so accidental touches are minimized, but can still happen when you try to adjust the position of the ear cups on your ear. Now NFC or near field communication chip makes pairing the device super easy. Just put the device or the sound source that's also NFC capable to the left ear cup, match up that chip, and you're good to go. Now it also comes with Bluetooth 4.0 supporting HFP, HSP, AD2DP, AVRCP, and SBC profiles. I don't know what the hell any of that means, but it does support it. But I must say that the Bluetooth signal is strong. Now Sony says that it gets about 10 meters, but it's important to know that it's just constant. There's no chipping out, and I love that. Unless you go to like the extent of the distance that it can get. But if you're listening at a reasonable distance, you should be okay. The battery life is also super legit, like for real, 30 hours of playback time. Standby time is even longer. So I was listening to this for about 4 days straight, and I still tapped the battery level, and it still says high. My only complaint with the functionality is that when you volume up to the max, it always pauses the sound. My mistake, mutes it. So it doesn't even pause the track, it just mutes the sound. And then it produces a beep, and I get it. That little beep can conflict with the sound that you're hearing, but just go ahead and put that beep, and after a while, I'll get it. I'll notice that the sound isn't going up higher, and I'll logically understand that I've reached the max volume.
There's no active noise cancellation on these guys, understand that. So all the cancellation is not really going to be built through any type of special technology. It's basically design. There isn't going to be any too much design though that can actually hinder that. The reason being is because these are on-ear headphones. Sound can seep out, so the passive noise cancellation isn't going to be that great either. So you kind of want to be wary of the, your environment. So here's my final overview thoughts of these headphones. I do like them. They feel very good. They're light and they're a small headphone, so they should feel lighter than its older brother. The sound stage is a little bit more balanced, so you're going to get less of that bass that you guys may or may not have loved in the XB950s, but it's still a bass enhancing headphone. So you're not going to miss out on too much. It's not that overkill, that baiting bass. You're just not going to get that anymore. And there's no active bass boost. The bass just sort of kicks in where it needs to. And that's powered by that 30mm driver that I talked about. The 30mm driver is going to actually allow you to get enough bass but still retain some of those mids and those highs. These are good for more than just only music. Let's watch movies with these. Let's do a lot more things. Let's listen to different types and genres of songs that we can actually hear all the instruments through. Overall, the comfort is okay. There's a lot of technology in this, but no active noise cancellation, so it is passive noise cancellation. Be wary that these are on-ear headphones and the sound can seep out through the crevices of your ear. Doesn't entirely enclose it. Battery life is awesome. There's no aux port, but I will say that majority of the songs, or the majority of my sound sources are wireless, or they have wireless capability. I may not have always used them. I may still use the aux cord, but I have had the option to go wireless. Overall though, I think that the device is a good buy. It's $129 at the time that I'm making this video, and Sony has been known to kind of dip on prices for sales and things like that. And I know it's across the board because you'll see every site kind of just, every major site kind of just really saying, oh, now they're available for $100 or whatever. So but they're still worth the $129. There's a product link in the description if you guys do want to check it out. That if you use that product link, it does help the channel out, and we do appreciate it. If you want to see a comparison between these and the XB950s, let me know in the comments, or hit that like button. I'll be sure to see if I can get that out to you. Either way, guys, I appreciate you guys watching this video. If you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. I'll talk to you in the next one. Stay practical. Peace.